I hope you're all having a fantastic day and welcome to my channel. For today's eyeshadow look, I did use the new Urban Decay Naked Honey palette again. I did another tutorial using this, but I was so inspired by the bright yellow honey shade, I decided I needed to create an entire look based off that one color. So this is what I created. It is more fall glam, very fall. So I hope you guys feel inspired by this tutorial and let's get started. The first shade I'm going to use is the shade Swarm, and I'm picking that up on a Morphe M573 brush. So I'm focusing on putting that into my crease. Since this is our base color and you won't really see much of it in the end, it's okay to be a little bit sloppy when you're applying this color. I'm just brushing this back and forth in windshield wiper motions. And I'm also focusing on putting this into the crease as well, slightly, because I do want to have a deeper color in my outer crease area. So I am also putting that color there as well. I'm then taking the shade Keeper. It's basically the same color, just a little bit deeper, and using that to focus on building up that color and deepening that color in the outer crease area. So you see when I'm first packing it on, I'm pressing it in because I really want a lot of pigment, and then when there's less pigment on the brush, that's when I'm starting to blend it out into the crease area. Afterwards, I'm picking up the shade Hive on the Morphe E17 brush. And I will be packing this on in the outer corner area. Like I've mentioned before, it's easy to build up the color and make it as pigmented as possible by first packing it on and then blending it out, as opposed to just blending it out from the get-go. So that's why you'll see me first packing it on, and then when there's less product on my brush, that's when I'm blending it out into my crease to create a more diffused look. I'm really looking to build up that color and deepen it, so that's why I'm taking the shade Sting on that same Morphe E17 brush, and again packing that in the outer corner area. Also, by using multiple colors in similar shades too, you can add a lot of depth as opposed to just using one color. That's why I didn't go in with this deep dark brown to begin with. I wanted to create more of a blended, soft, diffused look. So continuing to pack that on until it's as deep as I would like. I will go back in with a shade Hive on the original Morphe brush just to kind of blend out my edges. This is a clip I will usually cut out of videos, and I feel like a lot of other people do as well, but I think it's important to keep to show you guys how often I will go back in and blend my edges. If something's not how I would like it, it's okay to go back and blend and add more colors. Didn't realize this was upside down, but I'm taking the Too Faced Glitter Glue Primer on a flat brush, and I'm starting to pack that on my eye. So I love using this primer because it really makes those shimmers pop. So I actually use this instead of like cutting my crease with like a white based eyeshadow primer or concealer. I feel like this works just as well, so I'm kind of just layering that on. I'm focusing more of that towards the inner corner, so that means I'm going a little bit heavier in the inner corner, and then I'm using less and less product as I go towards the middle and outer portions of my eye, because I don't want it to be as pigmented towards the outer portion of my eye. I do want the majority of that shimmer to pop towards the inner corner, so that's kind of why I'm starting there and then moving outwards. I'm going straight into that shade Honey from the palette. This whole look is supposed to revolve around this shade, so I'm finally using it. I'm using the same brush as I used before to just pack that on. You could also use the brush from the palette as well. And mainly I'm just packing that on in small motions. You'll kind of see I have a lot of different cuts here because I do spend a lot of time layering it in small sections, and then I'll add more pigment and layer it back. So if you notice, there's a couple different clips here because I cut it every time I go dip back into the product. So it's pretty normal for me, at least, to have to dip back in a couple different times because I move in such small sections. I don't want this look to look super flat, so I'm also picking up the shade Queen. It's right next to that, and I'm placing that in the outer corner area just to add some depth so it doesn't look as flat and look like just one color. I feel like these two colors complement each other really well, and again, I'm packing on this color because I want it to be as pigmented as possible. If you blend it out, you will lose some of the pigment, so that's why I am packing it on. After those shimmer shadows are packed on, I'm going back in with Sting and again adding that with the Morphe E17 brush and packing that on so I can bring back some of that pigment. I don't remember who I learned this trick from, but packing on a matte lightly on top of a shimmer shadow really helps add that depth back. Picking up Hive on the Morphe M573 brush, I'm also going to add this into my crease area. I was noticing it was a little bit lighter than I wanted to, so I'm using that to kind of blend in those original shadows with some of those shimmer shadows and kind of diffuse those edges. It was looking a little harsh, so I wanted to blend that out a little bit more just to soften it up. Using the Urban Decay Midnight Cowboy glitter liner, I'm putting that in the inner corner area, similar to when we packed the honey shade. I did see Jamie Genevieve do this in her tutorial when she was using this palette, and I absolutely love the look, so I decided to use that as well, and just really highlight the inner corner and start to diffuse that once I get towards the middle of my eye. I don't really go into where the queen shade is at all with this liner. Today I'm wearing the Benefit Cosmetics Bag Gal Bang eyeliner in the shade Black. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like shots using eyeliner on the waterline look so painful, so I'll be very quick with this. But basically I'm just applying this to my waterline on my upper lid and then my bottom lash line as well. I can't find my normal Perversion mascara anywhere, so I'm using the waterproof version first, curling my lashes just to give them some lift, and then applying the mascara. I do feel like I have to apply more layers of this mascara than I do with the normal version, because the normal version just makes my lashes look flawless. So I'm just spending some time applying that mascara. Also, you can totally wear this look with just mascara. You'll see a shot next to me with just mascara on, and it looks amazing. See, you could totally wear this with mascara. I just love the look of false lashes. So I'm also applying false lashes. I'm using the iconic lashes from House of Lashes. They are my absolute fave, and I feel like they really tie the look in together. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!